Well, Trevor, just as I told you, there are a number of aspirants who are trooping in here at the Jubilee headquarters. Some of them are rushing in because you're being called to appear at the tribunal. Some of them are even being given 5 minutes notice and they are coming in very straight. The tribunal, as we do understand, that is sitting at the second floor of this Jubilee headquarters, is meeting some of the aspirants who are lodging complaints or who had already lodged complaints for about 5 minutes just to get a show of what is happening. Some of those who are winning, we are informed, are coming to answer charges as little as they're being accused by their opponents of stuffing ballot papers. And this is something that is happening. And the tribunal, as we do understand, is either going to sit between today and tomorrow, or sit today until the close of business at 5 o'clock in the evening, when they'll be issuing the certificates to some of the people who won, if they do not have problems. Earlier on, we spoke to some of the two members of parliament who had won, but say they have to keep on coming to these headquarters just to make sure that nothing sinister has happened. But right now, I'm being joined by one of the aspirants who ran for Senate in Kirinyaga County, if I'm not wrong, and he has just confirmed to us that he has tendered in his resignation. Why did you opt for that option?
I opted for that option in the interest of time, not because I hate the party, but given the timings. I was here yesterday, I was given a hearing yesterday, but it took us 13 hours waiting in an office up here. To me, looks like that is a long time to wait. By the time they listened to us, the gentlemen and the ladies who are listening to us, they were seriously exhausted. They told us we provide some information and they will give us the verdict by Friday afternoon. To me, that is tricky for me, because if I want to go, if I'm going independent, then it means that I could be time barred. So for the interest of time and without any bad blood, have made a decision that I would want to go independent candidate, and I have today tendered my resignations as a party member and as a Jubilee party member. But that doesn't mean that I'm not a sympathizer of the party. However, I would want to say that when we go back to the field to gather votes, we will definitely be an advantage. We'll definitely be doing it into the interest of the party, because we will be supporting the president, literally, and mobilizing for him.
What was your petition all about? My
petition was fundamentally based on fixing of figures, I would say, because some of my very key areas, like a neighboring polling station where I come from, for instance, I had 308 votes, and the person who was filling the tallies gave me 8 votes. That is my neighborhood. I had beaten my opponent in all the constituencies other than Central, Kirinyaga Central. So I was like, how on earth would somebody... In another place I had 732 votes. I was given 390. In another hand 705. I was given 391. In another hand 207. That 207 was literally put in Karava's voting, and I was given 8 votes. So that is the complaint I had. I had 15 polling stations that had not been tallied in Mwea constituency. And in Mwea constituency, literally the returning officer did run away on that polling day after announcing somebody else as a victor. But after the recount, we became the victor. We were leading in Mwea. But then even with 15 polling stations not included. So it's only fair that in the interest of time, and because we have been putting quite a number of resources and put in some mechanism, we try it as an independent candidates. And I can tell you for sure, this time loud, we are going to beat them hands down.
So what was the margin between you and that person who got the Jubilee ticket?
The margin between me and the person who got the Jubilee ticket is about 4,000. The 4,000 or slightly below 4,500. We are saying if we were to recalculate, we needed a recount of votes, and we are almost sure if it was to be done. Like in India, our margin would have exceeded the 5,000 that we beat him. In Kirinyaga Central, he beat us with a margin of almost 10,000. In our own tallying center, he beat us with about 7,000 votes. So we are saying plus or minus would have beaten him with over 2,500 votes.
So your decision to run as independent is final. You do not have faith in the tribunal that has been set up by the party?
I would say the process, one of the best processes that I've seen in Jubilee was the one of the tribunal. The hearing was very, very methodological. It was clearly stipulated on how you were going to do it. But then time. It is the interest of time. If there was time, another 2 weeks, honestly, I would have followed that process. But in the interest of time, I would go for independent candidate.
Have you kick-started that process of running as an independent candidate?
Indeed. I almost have 2,000 proposals, and I'm now headed to Korea with the party, the register of political party. I've just resigned from the party, and I'm moving on.
Thank you very much. That is Charles Keviro, one of the senatorial aspirants for Kirinyaga County, who's telling us that he does not have confidence in the tribunal that has been set up, and the only way that he thinks he's going to capture that seat in Kirinyaga County is to go as an independent. He says according to their own tally, he had defeated the incumbent Daniel Karafa by over 2,000 votes, but the margin as announced by Jubilee was 4,000. Let us see what goes on with him. But right now I'm also joined by the governor Kericho, that is Chepkoni, and we want to know and get a feel, why are you here, sir?
I've come to pick the nomination certificate. As you know, I won by a landslide. I had 124,000, followed by a distant second who had about 33,000. The nomination process in Kericho was very smooth. The election was fair, free, and transparent. So there is no appeal against me, and therefore I'm just expecting to pick my nomination certificate right now.
Is it that you guys had been called to come pick the certificate, or you've just been called and told the certificate is ready?
Well, after winning, naturally, I am entitled to a certificate. I know the party is having challenges with appeals, but I'm also aware that people who don't have issues should be given a certificate. So I'm here to find out whether it's ready, and if it's not ready, I'm told when it's going to be ready so that I can pick. I need to move on to the next phase.
So what is the next step for you? Campaigning for Chepkoni or campaigning for the party?
For both. I'll be campaigning for the party and our presidential candidate, who is the current president, Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, and his deputy, William Samoei Ruto. And I'll also be campaigning for myself because there is a candidate from another party whom I am going to face, and I do not sit pretty. Of course, I expect to win by landslide, but I'll continue campaigning as well for myself, but more important for the party and our presidential candidate and the running mate.
Thank you. Trevor, as you can just see, there is a mixture of those who are coming here. There are those who are coming jubilating, sure that they are going to get their certificates, and there are those who are crying, either going as independents. There are those who are facing the tribunal, and right now there is one other aspirant who has just joined us on set. Welcome, sir. And what is your name? What seat are you going for? Do you have a problem with the party?
Okay. My name is Honorable Kamau, MCA for Karura. We conducted our nominations on Wednesday, but we got disruption at City Park Market. There are a lot of irregularities and malpractices in Karura. Today I'm here for a hearing. It's Kamau versus Jubilee Party and National Election Board.
And how is that going as of now?
And now we are waiting for the party to give us a hearing, then they do a decision. In my prayers, I have asked the party to cancel and notify the results for Karura and call for a fresh or a repeat of the exercise soon as possible.
Have you been heard?
Have not been heard. In a few minutes from now, I'll be facing the tribunal for the same.
Yeah. Do you believe that maybe if you're given that chance to run again, you will beat your incumbents?
I'm the incumbent in Karura, so I believe given another chance, we'll be able to triumph over the ODM wave in Karura, and that's why I'm here to strongly defend my case. Because as a party, we must also have those candidates who are going to make it beyond 8th August 2017. Not just having candidates for the sake of having candidates. Our party still need strong candidates come 8th.
So does it mean that there was no election that was conducted in Karura, or someone was declared a winner and you have a problem with the person who was declared?
There was no one who was declared as a winner in Karura because the nomination process was incomplete. Without City Park Market, which is one of the polling center in Karura, it is incomplete. And one polling station is very important for a whole ward. So there was no formal announcement of anyone who won in the just concluded Jubilee nominations in Karura. Yeah.
What are some of the indications? Have you maybe gotten an indication on whether the party will listen to you and grant you your prayers?
Formally, as I had said earlier, I filed a petition with the party, and my prayers are very categorical and express that there was irregularity, there was malpractice, there was disruption of voting exercise in City Park Market, and this is in the public domain, where Bishop Margaret Wanjiru came to City Park, and there was rigging that was happening. She found some materials for Dagoretti and Parklands in Karura, ballot papers that had been photocopied. So that was also replicated in those other polling centers across Karura. So Karura issue is different from those other issues because it's a place where election did happen, and where election happened, malpractices was all over.
Yeah. Thank you. That is the MCA Karura Ward, who tells us that his prayers to the party were very categorical, and he wants a repeat of the exercise, whereby he says that there was no actual voting that went on that particular point. So it is upon the tribunal to decide on whether that is the way to go, or maybe decide on someone. You'll remember that time is running out for political parties to solve these disputes and maybe let other people go as independents. There is a timeline that has been set by the IEBC and had to be pushed so that members of parliament, MCAs, governors, all those people who felt aggrieved by the nominations that went on can either jump ship. We have been able to talk to 3 different people in the last 5 minutes, whereby we got one who has actually resigned from the party. We got the governor, Kericho, who says that he has come to get his certificate after winning by a landslide. And we've also gotten someone who has agreed to sit at the tribunal and is waiting for their case to be heard. So these are some of the cases that we'll be receiving the whole day here at this particular point, and we'll be getting a different view of everybody's purpose of coming and appearing before this tribunal or resigning. As we also heard earlier on, is that the senator for Muranga has also resigned from this party and is exploring different options. This has also been confirmed to us by one of the party members, that is Senator Kembi Gitura, has resigned from the Jubilee party and will be seeking redress from the party. Now, these are some of the things that we'll be following, but as of now, I'll come back to you, Trevor.
Thanks, Ken. That's Kennedy Muredi giving us the latest from the Jubilee headquarters, where various aspirants, like he says, are there to air their grievances. Some are there to collect their certificates as well. Let me take you straight to the Kenyatta International Convention Center, where the 56th session of the Asian African Legal Consultative Organization, abbreviated as ALCO, is currently going on. The Deputy President, William Ruto, is there and is currently